My new coworker pulled me aside on day 3. Everyone here knows what happened at your last job. Rachel's words hit me like ice water. We were standing in the break room at Coleman Industries, my fresh start after everything that went down. I'd moved 3 states away, changed my phone number, deleted all social media. Nobody here was supposed to know. What are you talking about? My coffee mug shook slightly in my hands. She glanced toward the hallway, checking for listeners. The fraud investigation, the missing money, how you reported it and they made your life hell until you quit. My stomach dropped. I hadn't told anyone here about discovering my previous company was laundering money through fake invoices. Not about finding $2.8 million in discrepancies. Not about how HR tried to frame me for the theft when I went to the authorities. How could you possibly know about that? Rachel pulled out her phone, showing me a LinkedIn post from 2 days ago. My former boss, Margaret Whelan, had written a glowing recommendation for me. Too glowing. She praised my attention to detail, especially with financial irregularities, and mentioned how I'd left suddenly after making some important discoveries. It was a threat wrapped in a compliment. The comments underneath were from accounting professionals discussing how companies blacklist employees who report fraud. Someone had tagged Coleman Industries asking if they knew about their new hire's history. That's when I noticed Rachel was recording our conversation. Her phone was propped against her coffee cup, camera facing me. Are you filming this? She didn't even try to hide it. Mr. Garrison asked me to document any discussions about your previous employment. He wants to know if you're planning to cause similar problems here. I set down my coffee carefully. Similar problems? You mean reporting federal crimes? Rachel shrugged. I'm just doing what I'm told. But between us, maybe you should check what they've been saying about you in the company Slack. I went back to my desk and opened Slack. Found the channel labeled New Hires October 2024. There it was. A message from Gerald in finance. Heads up everyone. Our new analyst has quite the reputation. Google her name plus SEC investigation. The replies made my skin crawl. People discussing whether I was a hero or a liability. Someone posted a news article about my former company being raided by the FBI. Another person shared screenshots from an anonymous blog called Corporate Rats, where someone had posted my photo with details about the fraud I'd reported. I kept scrolling. Found a direct message from HR sent to multiple managers. Legal suggests we maintain documentation of all Sarah's activities. Just being cautious given her history. This wasn't a fresh start. This was a trap. They'd hired me knowing exactly who I was. But why? What were they hiding that they thought I might find? That's when I noticed something odd in my email. I had access to financial folders I shouldn't see yet. Accounts payable files from 5 years back. Vendor contracts with redacted sections. It was like they'd deliberately given me access to sensitive information. I opened one of the vendor files. Started comparing invoice numbers to payment records. The patterns were familiar. Multiple vendors with the same tax ID. Payment amounts just below executive approval threshold. Invoice dates that didn't match deliveries. 2 hours later, Dennis from IT knocked on my cubicle. Hey Sarah, I need to update your system permissions. There was an error in your initial setup. He was sweating despite the freezing office. You have access to some restricted folders. I watched him navigate to the exact folders I'd been reviewing. He didn't revoke access. Instead, he copied the files to a shared drive labeled temp_review_SW. My initials. There, he said loudly. All fixed. But I could see the shared drive was accessible to the entire accounting department. Team meeting in conference room B in 10 minutes. Appeared in Slack. Mandatory for all accounting staff. In the conference room, Garrison stood at the head of the table looking directly at me. We need to discuss proper handling of sensitive financial data. It's come to my attention that someone has been accessing restricted vendor files without authorization. I was given access to those folders this morning, I said clearly. I can show you the permissions log. Garrison smiled coldly. If anyone notices unusual patterns in our financial records, report it directly to me, not to external authorities, to me. Are we clear? Everyone nodded. Rachel was filming again. Sarah, could you stay behind? When we were alone, he leaned forward. I know what you did at your last job. You destroyed an entire company. I reported fraud. The FBI destroyed the company because they were stealing millions. We value team players here, people who know when to stay quiet. My phone buzzed. 3 texts from an unknown number. The first was a photo of my apartment building. The second showed my car in the parking lot. The third said, stop digging or start running. I went to the bathroom and pulled out my personal phone, opened an encrypted app and started uploading every screenshot, every suspicious pattern I'd found. Then I composed an email to Special Agent Patricia Volker, the FBI agent who'd handled my previous case. Round 2, Coleman Industries, same patterns, already receiving threats. What do you need from me? Her response came within minutes. Stay safe. Document everything. We've been watching Coleman for 2 years. You might be exactly what we needed. Can you handle wearing a wire? I stared at my reflection. 3 days into a new job and already back in the deep end. But this time I had backup. Yes, I typed back. Come to our field office tonight. We'll strategize. And Sarah, they hired you because they thought your reputation would keep you quiet. Prove them wrong. As I walked back to my desk, I passed coworkers huddled around someone's phone, whispering. They scattered when they saw me. Good. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Because everyone at Coleman Industries was about to learn what my last employer discovered too late. I don't stay quiet. I don't back down. And I definitely don't stop digging. The only question now was how many of them would end up in federal prison when the dust